Hey, Doug, you want a water?
Yeah, Dan, thanks. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hey, welcome to the Better Contractor. We really want to talk about heat and cold injuries. So, I mean, it's nice that we work outside.
Yeah, it's great that we work outside, but that's also bad we work outside.
Especially when the temperatures go extreme one way or the other for heat or cold.
Yeah, especially during the summer because we have to have so much PPE on to stay safe, but that also can hinder us and make us heat up a lot faster.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about heat injuries. So heat exhaustion is one of the first ones that's going to show up. Really, that's when you're, just like it says, you're tired from working in the heat.
Or need to take a nap, feel like I need to have a shower and call it a day.
Yeah. So you'll usually be flush in the face, sweating a lot, maybe some dizziness, maybe some nausea. But if I recognize you looking hot, I need to say something to you. Hey, buddy, you might need to take a break. You're looking pretty hot. Yep. And you kind of got to start recognizing that in yourself, too.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes you just want to push through a job to finish it up if you have a little bit left to go, but sometimes you're better off taking that few-minute break, getting cool, and then refocusing and going back to it.
Yeah, because if you don't listen to others and don't listen to your own body, that's when you're going to push it, and then it's going to turn into much worse. So heat stroke can come whenever you push through and your body temperature starts rising and you get up in the 103 range, then your body organs actually start being affected. Your brain gets affected and you could have heat stroke, and some of that is irreversible.
Yeah, and it can affect you if once you get too hot, it affects you all that summer, maybe many other summers after that. You know, your body will shut down quicker.
Absolutely. So don't let yourself get to that heat stroke stage. Notice that you're affected by the heat. Mm-hmm. And some of us are not acclimated, especially if we would come from a northern state, be working in a southern state. It might take us several days, if not a week, to completely get acclimated to that heat and humidity.
They say sometimes it takes up to 2 weeks, even longer for some people, to acclimate to the weather change like that.
Yeah. So what do you do if? So you mentioned it a little bit. We talked about the water, but really the three main things that you want to do is if you're starting to feel hot, I mean heat exhaustion, take a break. So take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, find some shade. If you have to, get into an air-conditioned spot, really cool yourself down. Some companies might even supply a cool-down station, but a lot of times we have a vehicle or a truck or something with an air conditioner. But you have to pull some of that PPE off, especially if you're wearing FR or chainsaw chaps.
Chaps, and like the long-sleeve shirts, which we wear all the time. You definitely might want to peel a layer off, get cooled off, and then go back to it after you get cooled down.
Yeah, and that's another good point. Try to wear something that is breathable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To help let that heat out and help the whole wind and the whole temperature to help you out. Really, the next thing we said on there was hydration, but don't just remember you're supposed to drink 4 8-ounce cups of water per hour whenever you're working out in the heat. So that's more than some people drink all day.
Yeah, and stay away from the coffee during the day, the energy drinks definitely, and tea, you know, that caffeine, that dehydrates you more. Water and Gatorade, you know, something to replace your electrolytes, and plenty of water.
Yeah, and then like you said, electrolytes, you can get a little packs, you can go down and get some Gatorade or some other kind of a power drink, but you want to replace some electrolytes too.
Yeah.
And then it's a big deal with your clothing, we talked about that, but this hard hat even really helps.
Yeah.
Protect your ears, reflect some of the sunshine.
But when you get in a cool spot to cool off, take that hard hat off. You know, let everything breathe out a little bit, and because they build up heat too.
And even sunscreen can help reflect that off of you. Even your glasses having the right rating to be able to reflect the sunshine. So that's just some quick stuff on heat injuries. Let's move to the other side, the cold injuries, because we do work out in the winter.
Yes, we do.
And there's a lot of advantages to work in the winter, less vegetation and leaves and stuff on the trees, less biological things to worry about in the winter.
Yep.
But if it's getting extreme, some of the first things that might show up is called chilblains, and that's really just when your skin is being exposed, especially if there's a strong wind, you're to the elements. And it does not even have to be below freezing to get chilblains. It's really when your skin is starting to get tingly, kind of pins and needle feeling, and it's discolorating. And that is an early sign that you need to cover your face up. And there's lots of ways to do that. They have neck gaiters, have different face mask that would cover part of it, and I don't know, you use one of those much?
I do, and that seems to help out quite a bit. That way, the warm air that you breathe out sometimes will reflect back to your face, warm your face back up, and you don't worry about it. But then when it gets colder and you keep doing it, then that could freeze up on you. Yeah. So then you could have something ice cold on your skin. So you gotta watch what you do there. Make sure you're using the right PPE for the job.
Yeah. And so then one of the next things that might come up is the early signs of frostbite, which is called frost nip. And it's where, again, maybe the nose, maybe the cheeks, maybe your fingertips, but it's usually just that first layer of skin that's starting to really get affected by the cold. And that can still be painful and hurt, but really recognize those, the chilblains or the frost nip, and don't let it get to the frostbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll talk about what you can do to avoid that kind of stuff. But the frostbite is when the layers of skin are getting froze completely.
Frozen all the way through almost to the bone. And
Yeah.
then when that happens, that can be a very, very bad thing once you get to the doctor or the hospital to take care of it.
Oh yeah, once it's turning blue and black and stuff, you don't want to rub on it, but you would want to go to the emergency room then, because sometimes that needs amputated even, unfortunately. Yep. So don't ever let it get to frostbite. And then the other ones we might mention is hypothermia. So obviously, you don't have to be below freezing to get hypothermia. It's when your body temperature would drop to about 95. They call hypothermia, because we're really 98.6 normally. But if you were in 50-degree cold water, it would drop your temperature in time to a dangerous level. And then obviously, you could get them out of that, get them warm blankets, get those wet clothes off. Try to get them warmed back up.
During the wintertime, cotton is not a friend. You know, if you have that on a base layer, you're doing physical layer, once it get wet, it doesn't dry out. They have different fabrics, wools, one of the old-fashioned ones that even when they get wet, it keeps you warm and stuff. So there's a lot of different choices out there. Choose what's right for you in the area you're in.
Yeah. Then let's talk about one more, trench foot. So trench foot, again, it doesn't have to be cold, but usually cold, wet conditions is what causes it. But it's when your feet get wet. My feet are wet right now, a little bit on the toes, but if you continually have wet feet, wet socks all day, your skin starts to soften, and the longer that's in, if it turns into a couple days worth, your skin will soften so much that it'll start falling off. And yeah, so don't avoid that. And I've even taken, extra pair of socks and switching in the day, even if it's just from sweat, really.
Yeah. And then I always said the better shoes you buy is the best investment you can make for your PPE.
And that's a good point. Well, what is that stuff you use? Mink oil?
No, Snow Glow. Snow Glow.
Yeah. But any kind of a weatherproofing for your boots will help keep it from actually penetrating and getting in there next to your skin and socks.
Yeah. It all helps out to keep you make a safer day to work and a more productive day.
Yeah. So again, that's just some quick stuff. But again, remember, the things that we can do is have the training like this to really recognize that you're having the symptoms or that somebody else is, and help them be a brother's keeper. And then the next thing would be take breaks. Take breaks and hydrate. So cool down, get that hydration back into you. That's a big deal. And then that actually applies to the heat and the cold.
Yeah, and sometimes during the wintertime, people get dehydrated because they don't think they need as much water. They need to drink water even during the wintertime.
Yeah. So if you work outside, kind of get to know yourself, because heat and cold both affect people that are younger more, like under 4, and over 65 the most. But if you're on medications, or if you're extremely overweight, or if you're an alcohol drinker and drink too much the night before, even nicotine can affect you, caffeine we talked about. It's one of the biggest ways to avoid these is to stay healthy. And that's exercise, eating right, have nutrition, and it will help you in these areas. Yep. So I hope you enjoyed this quick training on heat and cold injury. Be the better contractor.